Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, and we talk club rugby. Once again, some interesting results over the weekend. Also, the Promotions League has been settled now. We'll take a look at that a little bit later in the show. Of course, big thanks to Hisense that has come on board as the official technical partner to Cape Rugby TV. Those Infinity Pulse cell phones are gone now, and now we move into the next phase where it's the draw for the 55-inch smart TV. Look out for that next week. That's coming up. And of course, Score Energy Drinks. Scores come on board with Sevens, the Western Province Rugby Sevens competition. That starts around the 8th of October, so that's very exciting. And of course, Factory Shop's SA mobile app. Remember what it said? Download the Factory Shop's SA mobile app, and you can get all those deals and discounts at a store near you. Factory Shop's SA mobile app. Download the app. Fantastic app. Will guide you right to where you are. Anyway, let's get right into the show now. Ishmael Dolly is with me on the show this evening. Hello, Ish.
Hi, Japes. Yeah, lots to chat about. A couple of results we've got to get through, and yeah, it's just me and you tonight.
I know, it's exciting. It makes it kind of easy. We don't have to worry about talking to getting interfered with by Morgan Newman.
No worries. So we'll keep it as sleek as possible, and hopefully get some good views on our reviews of the games.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot to talk about tonight, that's for sure. Folks, we, of course, went out this weekend to UWC. We haven't been out to UWs, in fact, for a very, very, very long time, so it was appropriate that we went out to UWs to go and watch them play. And they happened to be playing against Kales River, and it happened to be a very important game for both sides because of the fact that we're getting into that promotion relegation space at the moment, and the teams like UWC, Primrose and NNK and Kales River and Solarians and also to a degree UCT are still a little bit in the danger zone in Super League A. So it was a vital game for UWC and Kales River. Let's catch the first half highlights. Right, so the first half of the match there, UWC and Kales River, and of course by now, folks, you know the result. It was a win for Kales River, but before we get into the analysis of the game, Ish, your impressions just from a little bit of highlights there?
Yeah, some good performances. I see Nias Johnson from UWC standing out. with his great service from the base. He's currently in the Western Province emerging team, played some Western Province Sevens as well. And then on the Kuils River side, you've got Wade Skoor, who's played in the emerging team, as well as Charlie van Jaarsveld, the hooker. He's also the captain. So, yeah, a couple of well-known guys in the club circles, and you could see it was an entertaining game by the looks of things.
A couple of guys played for UWC, playing for Kuils River. Charlton was captain at UWC not so long ago.
Yeah, but bit of a derby.
And in fact, I can't recall. Yeah.
And I mean, these guys, that's the nature of club rugby at the moment. Guys, they move around and they don't really stick to many clubs at all times. So there is space for that. And it was good to see also, Lionel Langenhoven, the coach of UWC. He was Kuils River's coach before.
We have seen Charlton move from UWC, plays at Kuils River, involved there. Lionel was at Kuils River, is now at UWC.
Yeah, so, I mean, from a coach's perspective and player's perspective, there's movement both ways, And I mean, with the coaching staff that UWC possess, I mean, you've got Chester Williams.
So, in fact, Snaz as well played at UWC.
I think they just put the two teams together and just took them out in a hat and, UWC Kuils River.
But that means that a lot of those players would already be comfortable on that field.
I'm sure they know that ground in and out. Both teams obviously they know each other quite well. But Chester Williams and Paula Conradi, two very renowned, well-known Springboks, possess quite a great knowledge of the rugby game in terms of bringing that structure to UWC. So it's great.
A lot of obviously, I mean, before we look at the second half, obviously there would have been a lot of concern from both sides here, considering that bottom of the log, the relegation factor is hanging over the heads of Primrose, NNK, and Kuils River and Silurians and UCT, and it's going into that game. The coaches both sides would have been concerned and hoping that that the teams would have come out of the break, got themselves momentum back in, and of course would have been thinking about, will the players remember what we've been coaching them this year?
That's always the challenge you face, when you've had such a long break, and that first or second game after that long break is really, really testimony to the hard work that you've put in over the break. Did it come to fruition? Yeah. Or do you need to maybe spend a little bit more on conditioning or focus a little bit more on that smaller details? Because players tend to lose that, especially over that long break. So reiterating and bringing back that structures maybe can ignite that motivation.
All right, folks, but I don't think that there's ever a coach that goes into a game saying he wishes he had just one more hour or 10 more minutes to talk to the players about the game. Let's check out the second half highlights now. Kuils River UWC with UWC, of course, with home ground advantage. right, folks, there you go. Those, of course, the second half highlights for the match Kales River against UWs, and it was a win for UWC. They'll be happy to take the points. It moves them to number 11 on the log now. They've played 8 games, so they've still got a couple of games in hands. They have 15 points on the log at the moment. And Kales River, 9 games, 1 win, and that puts them on an 11% win ratio. A little bit of a points difference as well. So we're going to come down to the wire now. So still got a couple of games in Super League A, but it was a win for Kales River. In just on a final note, wrapping up around the game side of it, Chester and the boys will be happy with the fact that it was gives them a bit of breathing space.
Yeah, I mean, UWC, as you said, it's a much needed win. That bottom 5 is becoming a bit congested. And every game becomes a final, and every game becomes a game to win. So it's important log points that I picked up, and Kales River will have to look back and maybe reassess in terms of where they're going to have to go this week, because they're going to do a bit of traveling to SK this weekend. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. All right, before we talk about the fixtures, and there are a couple of interesting results over the weekend. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's first catch up with the captain of Kales River, Earl Johnson. Of course, it's tough for the guys to keep the smiles, but still, I doff my cap to those captains who come after the game and make sure they do their little bit for media, which is, of course, so important for the clubs. Let's speak to Earl Johnson now first. Right, folks, with me now, Earl Johnson, of course, the leader of the pack at Kales River. Caleb, boys, it didn't go your way today, Earl.
Yeah, JP, this was a hard-fought one. The boys kept on working till the end of the game, and unfortunately, the bounce of the ball or the game didn't go our way. So, yeah, so it's back to square one again.
Caleb, boys, I mean, we know you guys for big gees and big spirit and that, but it does look like the guys took this one a bit hard.
Yeah, JP, because we've been fighting now for a win for some time now, and things doesn't always go our way, and for the last few games things didn't go our way, and that's why the boys is taking this one a bit harder, than the last game. So,
which is a good thing, because some teams lose a game and they don't bother about it. And when you have a team like yourself who's taken it so personally, they take it very serious, that means come Monday they're going to be back on the park with a real let's go get them attitude. Yeah,
so I think so, and I hope so, that the boys is going to come with that fire on Monday and work hard, because who wants to lose? Nobody want to lose, everybody want to win. So I think this might put us a step ahead or put us on another level where the boys is going to fight twice as hard because they won the win, and who wants to feel bad after a game, huh?
Well, you still got a couple of games to go. Just have to make sure you put those points in the bag.
Yeah, JP, there's 5 to go still, but never stop working hard, and we're going to keep on fighting. That's the gees in the team, so that's Kayla Liefde.
Oh, there we go. In one way or the other, we'll always be talking about Kayla Liefde.
Okay, thanks, JP.
Earl Johnson talking to us there, and as I say, folks, in case I did make a mistake there earlier and I said that it was a win for Kales River, Ish pointed out, Ish, I made that mistake, did I?
You did.
I'm sorry. It was a win for UWC. Earl Johnson, it's tough for the guys to keep a smile.
Yeah.
You've got a camera in your face, but it's a new world of club rugby, you know, TV. We've all had to do it in the past, and if we're going to take club rugby into the future, you've got to do the media, you've got to suck it up and come and talk, and props or kudos to Earl for coming after the game and still talking to us.
Yeah, he seemed very dejected, taken the loss quite badly, but in saying that, I mean, Earl's one of the most experienced club players in the Western Cape. I mean, he's 35 years old, sorry for giving your age away. But he comes with a lot of experience, and you can see what that game meant to him going down to UWs.
I mean, you've had it once or twice. I've had to interview you when you've been on the losing streak.
You can't win every single game, and this is part of sport. I mean, we just got to realize that we're playing a global sport, and a sport that brings communities together, and at the end of the day, the bigger picture is what counts. We don't actually see it in that moment when you're in that losing position. But yeah, it is what it is.
I find it particularly difficult to interview the guys on the losing side, because we never want to focus on anything negative. And
But it's also difficult because now you've got to try and extract information out of a guy which doesn't really want to give you some information because he doesn't want to speak.
yeah, no, but I just feel for the guys after the game. But I mean, I suppose that's part of the drill, you know. Anyway, we also managed to catch up with Charlton April, the coach of Kales River. With me now, Charlton April, of course, head coach at Kales River. Charlton, tough game today.
Yeah, JP, it was always going to be tough. You know, students rugby, they love to run. They doesn't care. They don't know. They just want the ball and they want to score tries. That's all what they want, yeah.
Different attitude today, because I mean, I know it didn't go your way today, but the guys looked like they were ready for the game. They looked like they were psyched to get the points.
To be honest with you, yeah, I also thought that this is the one. I think when we start planning and after the break and we said this is the one that we're going to target. And I said to the boys just now and said, listen guys, and I asked them if we didn't take this one, which one are we going to take? So from now on, it's just a matter of getting your head right. I mean, we can talk and talk and talk forever, but if the guy don't pitch on Saturday, there's nothing I can do.
Well, the one thing I can absolutely tell you is that there are 5-6 other teams in the league that are asking themselves the exact same question. And we do tend to look at the top of the log, the False Bays and the Marties and the Tigerbergs and those teams. But that seems to have, it seems to me now that the interesting part is what's going to happen in the bottom 6.
Yeah, that's a tough one. When you look at the log, it's to be honest with the guys, I said, guys, if you don't win, just go for the bonus point. Because every little point that you get, I mean, we picked up a lot of bonus points by winning the margin, by scoring 4 tries, or losing by 7 or less. And that is what I asked the guys. I can see we're losing the game. But I say, guys, beg you, just get it 1 point. Because 1 point pick us up another level.
Yeah, you got to think strategically.
Yep. Of course, yeah.
All right, so I know it's a tough game. We always have to do these conversations after the game, and it's a hard conversation in the change room afterwards. So we appreciate the chat.
Okay, thanks a lot.
There we go, Charlton April. You can see difficult for him ish. He's picked up sort of at the tail end of the season to maybe do a little bit of a rescue job. That must be very tough for a coach.
Yeah, not very easy, especially when you didn't have the luxury to work with your players during a pre-season or an off-season. But Super A is a tough league, and you can clearly see that when teams go up into a new league, it's very tough to establish yourselves. It's very tough to compete consistently at that level. So you got to make sure your bases are covered.
Yeah. Well, I must say I'm super impressed with Charlton's demeanour, the way that he talks. He's very quiet, well-spoken, and I think when you're dealing with players at this level, the long-gone days, or should be long-gone days, of the screaming and shouting and swearing at players is gone completely. So I like Charlton's approach. He's comfortable, he's mature, he speaks with a sense of logic.
Sense of calmness, and sometimes when there's emotions running high and you've just lost an important game, it's very easy to throw your tantrums and throw your toys out of the cot and just give the hairdryer treatment, so to say. And players don't react to that. They close shop and they just ignore you, or they go into their shells.
Yeah.
So there's a time and place. I'm not saying it's the right approach, but bringing that sense of calmness, you tend to sort of buy the players over and they tend to listen to you.
Yeah.
And that's when you can maybe try and heal the wounds and build forward.
Yeah, and building forward is exactly what the boys need to do. A couple of games in hand, and it's going to be a challenge. Right, folks, as I said earlier on, as you can see right behind me, there's 2 score jerseys, one over here and one over here. And there's a couple of scores out there with the clubs at the moment. In fact, if you want to make a bit of money at your club, then what you can do is you can get Score energy drinks, the scores, and you can get them at your club and make quite a lot of money for your club. You just need to buy the score from the guys, and you put a markup on, and you sell score at your club. Anyway, score has of course come on board with Western Province. There's the logo behind me now, incidentally. Score has come on board with Western Province Rugby for the Sevens tournament, 6-week Sevens tournament. That's going to happen, I think, from about the 8th of October, running through to the end of November. It's going to be very exciting. There's going to be about 32 teams. It's going to happen at Goodwood. There's the announcement now. It's Goodwood Grounds. We'll look out for all the announcements around that in the forthcoming weeks about the Sevens structure, where it's going to be played, the entertainment that's going to be there. There's a kids zone. There's going to be dancing entertainment, music entertainment. So the Sevens, Western Province Rugby Sevens this year is going to go to a whole new level altogether. And any club that is out there should be involved in the Sevens, or should at least try and get in. In the meantime, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, all right, all you need to do is SMS the word SCORE to 33280. 33280, and you can win yourself a case of a Score energy drinks. Congratulations then to last week's winner, Fred Hoffman. Fred walks away with a case of Score energy drinks. Right, Fred, one of the guys from Cape Rugby TV will get in touch with you, and you can get yourself a case of Score energy drinks. Folks, well, as I say, we'll tell you more about the Sevens tournament in the next couple of weeks. We'll take an ad break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up with the captains and coaches from UWC, and of course the Evox Advanced Nutrition Man of the Match. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. And remember, you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, and share your club stories with us. Tell us what you're doing in the world of club rugby, and hopefully we'll be able to pick it up and air it. Right, we did manage to catch up first with UWC's captain, Jose Julies. Right, folks, with me now is Jose Julies, of course, the captain at UWC. And the last time we spoke to Jose was at UCT, which was, of course, that historic win. Jose, but also as important today, the log at the bottom at the moment. This was an important win for you guys.
Yes, JP. First of all, I just want to thank God for giving us this opportunity to play this wonderful game. But yeah, we said there's a couple of games that we have to pull through, JP, and today it was just one of those games where it could have gone either side, and we decide, listen, boys, we have to stick to our guns and we have to give these guys a challenge today. And coming out here on our home ground and having a win, it was wonderful, JP.
So this win, though, the season's not over. There's still a couple of games left. You've got to obviously take this win forward and try and maintain this momentum now.
Yes, JP, we have to build on this because there's Marty's coming. We have Hamilton still to come. And that is the games that we really look forward to, because that is the games where you measure yourself. But as I said, there is a couple of games that we have to gonna win in this competition. Yeah. And going forward now is we just have to build on this.
Yeah.
Thanks, JP.
Well, it won't be news to you. You won't know it yet, but I know all of you guys have been in the field today. But Marty's drew with Tigerberg today. Which means that maybe Marty's is there for the taking?
yes, JP. That this game is a game where you, on the day when you don't pitch, you're gonna see different stuff. You see, and for us, if we go guns blazing for Marty's and stuff like we did against UCT, I think it can change things for us.
Yeah. Right, Jose, we're going to leave it at that, my man. I know you're tired. Tough game. Get back into the change room and enjoy it.
Thanks a lot, JP.
Captain of UWC there, Jose Julies. Very happy man, and of course happy with the result. As they move, UWC puts themselves into 11th place on the log with 15 points. Not great points. They've won 38% of their games so far. They've lost 5, they've won 3, they've played 8, still a couple of games in hand. So that bottom 6 is not a clear win for anybody just yet. Lionel Langenhoven spoke to us after the game. Of course, Ishmael, you'll know Lionel very well, as of course will Kelsriver know Lionel very well. Well, anyway, let's speak to him first, and then we'll talk about Lionel's success stories at UWs. Folks, with me now, Lionel Langenhoven, of course, head coach here at UWC. Lionel, jy's seker happy met die result vandag, né?
Was baie scrappy in die begin hoor.
Ja.
Spelers sit so onnodige druk op hulle self. Dan gaan hulle uit stelsel uit en doen hulle eie goedes wat nie goed is vir die game nie. So hulle sal moet leer uit hulle foute. Baie goeie tweede helfte in hulle het mee gespeel na wat ons geoefen het, struktuur gehou en ja, die resultaat is daar.
Daai was ek het na die kant van die veld gekom net voordat julle die game begin het. Jy was natuurlik besig met die boys en Bolla het gesê dit was die ding waarvoor julle soek, is dat die ouens by die game plan hou.
Yeah, in the previous games we lost our composure completely by bad communication. Players do their own thing. So we set small targets for ourselves this week, and that is to stick to our structure, minimize our penalties, and the result will speak for itself.
You've got some tough games coming up, Marties. You would have heard me saying to Jose there now they drew with Tigerberg today, but that's never an easy game. Hamilton's, it was a massive win for them over SK Warmers today. I know all these field side results, you're hearing about them for the first time. They beat SK Warmers, I think 62 or 52-19. So there's still some tough games coming up, and as we were saying to Jose, you want to take this momentum that you've got here today to consolidate your position in the log.
Yeah, it's business end of the competition now, and JP, it's a very open league this season, and if you pitch up and you've got the right mindset, then anything can happen.
Yeah.
True, anything can happen. Look at Brackenfell, amazing performances so far this season. Anything can happen. So it's about the will of the players and stuck to their guns, and anything can happen. I'm
All right.
positive.
All right, we're going to leave it at that. Thank you very much. Always great chatting with you. We've got to get you back in the studio sometime. I don't know whether your bosses are going to like, but it looks like your guys took a hammering today.
Yeah, check your GPS.
I'll check my GP. Right, folks, Lionel Langenhoven, happy man, experienced, well-versed in the world of rugby. I mean, you know his record better than I do.
Yeah, Lionel's a great guy. I learned a lot from him. He was the province emerging coach for about 5 years, and what a guy in club rugby. I mean, he's been around there. He's got the T-shirt, been at a few clubs, and he's coached at the highest level in club rugby. And UWC is very lucky to have a guy like him at the helm, and they can learn a lot from him. Yeah,
we, you know, I've said many times that we share and have most of our fun after the games. I've stood in many. We tend to spend more time either on the pavement or in the parking lot after a game, just talking rugby and talking clubs and what's happening in the world of club rugby. Anyway, I was privileged enough to hang around a little bit after the game at UWC, and myself and Lionel Langenhoven and Elmin and Hayward were the sports administrators at UWC. We sat and we just spoke about sport and club rugby and community sport. And it was fantastic learning so much also about Lionel's history. His history in playing for, I think he played Saru or Federation, played for Tigerberg back in the day. Played for Saru.
Yes.
I got to make sure.
Yes.
I've got to make sure. Yeah. Anyway, learning and then learning from him as well. All the guys that he played with back in the day, and a world of information, more than just what's happening between the white lines.
Yeah, no, I mean. And Lionel can get very deep, you know, when it gets to those conversations. So he also speaks about the challenges that students, that comes with varsity rugby. I mean, he was at various other clubs, and to coach at the university comes with its own challenges. We know that students have to make certain grades in terms of the subjects and marks, and completely different to normal club rugby players, you know, in terms of getting them down from their wives or their girlfriends or their families. So it comes with its own aspects of challenges, and he can deal with it, I'm sure. And he's got the capabilities to do it.
All right, so yeah, Lionel, if you're watching tonight, thumbs up. It was lekker hanging around with you guys afterwards. You know, every club has got its own thing. If you go to Rangers, it's the butter chicken. If you go to Elsie's, it's Ansland and the Scarp, where we stand outside. If you go into Northerns, it's the Kreefpot. If you go to Goodwood, I haven't mentioned this, they got the best hamburgers in the league for absolute surety. If you go to Villages, they've got a lekker place there for great burgers and chips. If you go to False Bay, they've got a little outside section there. If you go to Milnerton, there's a nice bar for lekker conversation and ice cold drinks. Masiphumelele, the same thing. The most important thing there is that the beers are cold. They're not worried about the food. And at UWC, it was the conversation in the VIP room. And so many clubs out there today, really just such a pleasure to be there. Folks, we also managed to catch up with the Evox Advanced Nutrition Man of the Match. Remember, Evox Advanced Nutrition is, of course, the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. And this week's Man of the Match was their flank, Aubrey Josephs. Folks, Evox Advanced Nutrition, as we do on a weekly basis, gives away a man of the match. Aubrey Joseph plays for UWC. Flank, Aubrey, before we get into your prizes here, you must be happy with your performance?
Yes, JB, it was hard. It was tough out there. You can see battle scars. It's never easy coming to UWC to play here in front of a home crowd packed, but I enjoy it.
A couple of guys, you talk about battle scars. I mean, a couple of guys went to looked like they had a couple of knocks and cuts today. Or looked like they were into serious injuries as well. Really looks like you guys put your body on the line.
Yes, if you wear this jersey, we play for this badge, the pride. We give our all. We give our heart. We stick in there, and we stuck it out.
And with that comes the reward. So I'm taking this out of a super shape bag because this is part of the Evox family. So what have we got for you here? Firstly, we're giving you the brand new Evox 100% whey protein. This is the advanced formula. We know you've got a lot of muscles, but that'll keep the muscles there, so that's for you. And you're going to need something to shake it up in. So there's what they call the pre and post shaker, which has got two sides to it. So you put your protein in, then your recovery drink. So congratulations on that. And just to make sure that everybody knows, of course, that you are the Evox Advanced Nutrition Man of the Match.
Thank you, JP.
All right, and of course I'm hoping we'll see lots more Evox at UWC.
Okay, thanks.
Aubrey Joseph's got the full bag there. He got the shaker, the t-shirt, and the tub of protein. I know you said the tub's getting smaller.
A few years ago, you'd have probably getting this 5XL massive whey protein, but I'm glad he's got his performance worth, and he's got a bag full of goodies to share with hopefully his friends and his teammates.
Well, I tell you, there's very few people who get the t-shirt.
Yeah, see, it's a bag, it's a t-shirt, it's a shaker, and it's a whey protein.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Anyway, right, folks, remember, club rugby players can, of course, go directly to the Evox factory to buy at sponsorship prices. So to get in touch with the Evox guys, just go to the Western Province Club Rugby website. There's a banner on the right-hand side. You click on that. There's a form. You submit it, and it goes to the guys at Evox, and they'll get in touch with you. We're going to take an ad break, and when we come back from the ad break, we'll take a look at the results in, or at least the rest of the results in Super League A. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV it is. Remember, you can download that Factory Shops SA mobile app. Just grab your mobile phone, download the Factory Shops SA mobile app. Now, if you're watching the show and you've got a shop, then you need to list yourself with the Factory Shop mobile app, because most stores out there that are discount stores or factory shops are listed on this mobile app, and it's an easy way for consumers to find themselves directly to your shop. Go onto the mobile app, and there's a place for you to add your listing on. And then, of course, the Factory Shops guys will get hold of you. All right, let's take a look now at the results in Super League A. There were a couple of monster results. Vix beating Primrose 81 points to 8. False Bay continued to dominate 52-9. Durban, well, it was a win for them, 38-33 over Belhar. Solarians, that game looks like it was forfeit, and the points go to UCT. Hamilton's beat SK Warmer 62 points to 17. Stellenbosch drew with Tygerberg. UWC was a big win for UWC, 36-10 over Kales River, as we said earlier on, an important game. And folks, I think one of the notable results there was the draw. Tygerberg 36-all with Stellenbosch. The Tygerberg, or die Tiere, hulle sal baie happy wees met daai resultaat. All right, folks, let's take a look now at the results in Super League B. and it was a win for Villagers, 40 points to 17. Macassar beat St George's, 32-27. Hands and Hearts beat Belleville, 30-22. Milnerton, 99-14 over Goodwood. Hamlets, well, it was a 1-point loss for them against Peniel Villagers. Collegians beat Young Peoples, 14-3. And then Helderberg, 37-30 over Violets. Let's just pause on Super League B for a second there. It was a narrow loss for Hamlets against Peniel Villagers. Both those teams at the moment, if we just look at Peniel Villagers and Peniel Villagers now moved to the top of the log.
Top of the table clash, and that was sure to be a humdinger. Hamlets did play an extra game, so Peniel is leading the log with the game in hand, but a vital win for Peniel.
And this, of course, means Milnerton is now number 3 on the log, which is, of course, your team. Still gives you a couple of games in hand, if I'm looking at the stats like that. But if you get yourself just down one more, then you don't have to go up to Super League A.
It is what it is, and
Ish, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people are beginning to question how it is that you managed to just not go up to Super League A. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. Villagers is hot on your tail. They are pushing to get into that number 3 spot.
yeah, the top 4 is quite congested, and every single game from now on in is it's a knockout. And there's about 3 or 4 league games left for all 4 of those top 4 teams, and yeah.
You're not considering having a few buys maybe, or maybe taking another break, another season's break? All right, Ish. We'll just leave it at that. But of course, also a good win for Helderberg over Violets. Violets gave it all their all, and we'll follow the progress there. But I think hard luck there to Hamlets. 1-point loss, guys. Very close for you. Let's look at the Super League C results now. Strand United with a 20-9 win over Silverleaf. Paul beat Young Stars. Scottsdene went down to Carlamore 31-35. Rangers 41-36 over Masipumalele. Laguna went down by just 1 point to Hamadias 26-27. And LC Srafir beat Langa by just 1 point. And then Blue Jets went down to Franschhoek United 35 points to 5. So once again, some very close calls there. And this puts Paul now on top of the log in Super League C with 50 points, followed by Rangers. Now I think that was what Rangers were looking for against that Masipumalele side. And we saw, in fact, Rashid Isaacs managed to put some pictures in the People's Post again. Rashid, if you're watching now, your photographer for community sport not going unnoticed as usual. Great picture there. Masipumalele against Rangers. But Rangers will be happy with that result, Ish.
Yeah, Rangers will be, and it just puts them nicely at the top of the table. And like I said, it's consistent across all leagues, you know. This last few games, as we get into the business end of the competition, you're either fighting for that relegation, promotion relegation, or you're fighting for that league honours. There's no sort of in between.
Yeah. Well, the Rangers is now number 2 on the log, and they've still got a couple of games in their hand. Paul has played 12, Carlamore has played 12, Langa also a game in hand. So once again, the Super League C, it's starting to look a little bit tight, and we had some interesting close calls there. Like I say, Elsie's beat Langa by just 1 point. It was the same for, as we saw in the previous game between Peniel Villagers and Hamlet. So some very close calls. Right, in the regional league results, folks, close calls again. City League, it was Young Ideas who went down to Tech, 34 points to 10. And then, of course, Albions went down to Violets Paul, 23 points to 22. But now that does bring us to the point where it's going to be the Regional Promotions League. When I come back from the break, we will introduce you to the fixtures coming up in the Regionals promotional side. Also coming up after the break, we'll introduce you to our player profile in the Best Med Western Province Rugby School of Excellence insert. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV it is, as you know, every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Saturday repeats from 9 to 10 in the morning. And if you're an early bird or a late night worker, then on Monday mornings at 3 a.m. I remember I used to do the late night shift on Good Hope FM from 2 to 6. And so many people working the late night shift used to call in and ask for special requests. Unfortunately, it's going to be a repeat of the show, so there won't be any special requests. All right, folks, as we know, on Monday night, it was the City, Southern and Northern League draw. Those three leagues have now finished their first round of games, and we go now into the next level of, or at least the next round of fixtures. And it's the top three from each league, Super League A, B and C, that will go into what's called the top 9 promotional league, while the bottom of the remainders in Super League A, B and C, in other words the 8s, will play against each other in the next format of the competition. We managed to catch up with the guys on Monday night when they came to draw to see who would have their home games, and then we'll take a look at the fixtures in a sec. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the region's second round draw.
This evening, the draw that we're going to be doing is obviously for the three from the regional side, the City, the Northern, and the Southern, in terms of the home and away, and then from the promotional league in terms of home and away.
Comes in. Number 3. Number 1. Number 2 for Vineyards. Lucky number 5. Lucky number 7. We're drawing the City League home matches now. Up first. There we go. It's all just there. Very well done. And number 2. Number 2. And Young Ideas. Come number 4. Number 4. Young Ideas. Yeah. Number 4. Number 8. Number 8. Number 7. Police. Northern League. Thunderscout. Lucky number 8. Number 2. Whistling Wheels. Southern League. Number 7. Lucky number 7. Yeah.
Number 1. Number 6.
Number 6. Thistles. Right, there we go, folks. That was, of course, the draw. Very simple. It was essentially just to choose the home games, and we also managed to just chat to one or two of the representatives from the clubs after the draw.
The draw for the top 9, we got quite a difficult draw. We playing Vineyards, All Saints, as well as Young Wesley's away. I would have loved to have one of them at least in Esterfield, the House of Pain. But hopefully we will do better this year than we did last year. We learned from our mistakes. We did a lot of homework. I think we are prepared to take it to the next level.
The draw tonight was not what we were hoping for. There's 1 or 2 games we'd have loved to play at home. But we are hoping for the best, and confidently the guys put in the hard work at home. We can go through it.
The draw wasn't that bad for us because most of the tough teams are coming to us at Langa. That's a slaughterhouse, and we mean to defend our cup.
We've actually won promotion to the promotion league, and we got the luck of the draw. We got all the top teams at home, which is Vineyards, Young Wesley's, and Retreat. So these are the teams we need to win. Those are the games we want to win. So it's all there for us to lose.
Right, that was of course the draw. Top 9-ish, at least after the league now, the guys still have something else to play for.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what makes it a bit interesting. The fact that the league is done for them, there's still more rugby to be played, and there's still much more rugby coming into September and October as well, with the 7s coming up.
But so the critical thing here for these guys is, of course, that out of these top 9 from A, B and C, the top 3 will go up to Super League C.
And it's all to play for. This is where the crunch of the season comes down to. Yeah. All that pre-season, all that hard work comes to fruition, and how important it is for these teams to make sure that if they have these aspirations to play in a higher league, these next 3 weeks are going to determine that.
That's if you have the aspirations to play in Ireland. All right, folks. A little inside joke. So if you watch, if you're some of the hundreds of thousands of people who watch Cape Rugby TV every weekend, then you will know what our inside joke is about. If you're watching it for the first time, keep watching, because we have lots of inside jokes here at Cape Rugby TV. Right, folks, the Best Med School of Excellence is, of course, active at Western Province Rugby, and Best Med has come on board as a sponsor there to the School of Excellence. And it's interesting to see how the kids have come through the ranks. One of the players who's playing, of course, in the Stormers and Western Province Rugby setup at the moment is JD Schikkeling. He played Craven Week, and well, we managed to catch up with him and just find a little bit from him about his progress through the ranks.
The following Western Province Rugby School of Excellence insert is brought to you by BestMed. Be active, be safe, be happy, be Nutri-wise, be fit.
Ek het 2013 gematrikuleer. Daarvan af is ek toe
hier na die WP toe, eers by die instituut op Stellenbosch en van daar af het ek hier my rugby nog verder kom doen hier by die HPC. Die HPC dit develop jou baie nie net as speler nie, maar ook as mens wat baie great is. Dit was eers proewe gewees en die kompetisie is verseker baie groot. Sodra jy goed doen, dan word jy gekies ook. Dit is skole soos Pelgrim, Paul Roos, Boys Eye, Sex, Bishops, omtrent al die Kaapse skole. En toe sit hierna-toe. Dit was verseker van die hardste oefeningssieke al in my loopbaan ook gewees op daai stadium. En dit is nie altyd maklik nie, maar jy moet maar net deursettings vermooi hê. En die lekker ding van dit ook was jy kry bietjie met senior spelers ook te doen wat ook 'n groot ervaring is. Johan de Jong was daar. So dit was Eben Etzebeth was ook al hier so gewees, so Andries Becker, so dit was 'n great ervaring om sulke ouens ook te ontmoet en te sien hoe hulle dinge doen en so streef jy ook daarna om eendag so te wees. Jy is hier as 'n skool hier wat jou alles gee in proewe en dan kom jy sê maar jou matriekjaar en jy speel Kruiwenweek en so, wat absoluut great is. Ek het dit verskriklik baie geniet. En ek dink enige iemand wat 'n passie het vir rugby gaan dit verseker ook geniet. Die kompetisie is verseker baie groot tussen mekaar. En dit is wat jy daarvan maak. Dit is as jy voel dis jou loopbaan, dink ek die WP is 'n baie great opsie.
The following Western Province Rugby School of Excellence insert is brought to you by BestMed. Be active, be safe, be happy, be nutri-wise, be fit.
There we go, folks. JD Schickerling has come through the ranks, and of course he had a terrible injury at Western Province Rugby, but he's back in the park and he's giving it horns. Okay, let's take a look at the fixtures coming up over the weekend. First, we'll touch on Super League A. Of course, as hot in Super League A, Vix is up against Brackenfell. It's False Bay with home ground advantages against Silurians. Hamilton's and UWC. Primrose and Tigerberg. SK Woomers take on Kelsriver. UCT, NNK and Belhar are up against Stellenbosch. There's going to be a couple of crackers there. It's hard to decide where we're going to be going, but if we look at the top of the log there, False Bay, Stellenbosch, Durbel, Tigerberg, Hamiltons and Brackenfell all chasing for the top 6 at the moment. Teams like UCT, UWs, Primrose, Silurians, NNK are going to want to try and make sure that they stay out of the bottom 5 positions. Super League B this weekend, it's Violets and Hands and Hearts. That's going to be a tough match. Union Mill and St. George's, and then of course Strand are up against Hamlets. I think if we look at the teams there that are would be a little bit concerned, Violets and Hands and Hearts. Violets sitting at the moment in 11th place in the log. Hands and Hearts are sitting at 8. Violets will be looking for a win here.
Definitely, with home ground advantage, I think they'd want to look at this one to target. In saying that, I don't think it's going to be an easy fixture. I mean, Hands and Hearts, they're sitting pretty well in the middle of the table. So, and Violets are keen for a win. So, hopefully they can bring their best game to the party on Saturday.
All right, let's take a look at the fixtures in Super League C. In Super League C, we see it's Young Stars and Rangers. It's Strand United and Hamadias. Blue Jets take on Scottsdene, Langa and Lagunya. Masi Pumalele up against Wraithby, and Silverleaf take on Elsie's. A couple of crackers there. In the top of the log, of course, Paul, Rangers, Kalamore, Langa and Franschhoek. And then if we look at the bottom, it's Blue Jets, Hamadia, Silverleaf and Masi Pumalele that will be looking to stay out of the relegation space, because those promotion league games are starting now. They will have an idea who's going to be up against them next year. So I suppose the teams that will be concerned there, Masi Pumalele at the moment, they are sitting right at the bottom and are up against Wraithby. Wraithby, well, they're sitting at 9 on the log, but are reasonably safe at the moment, sitting on 24 points. But Masi and Silverleaf and Hamadias will be looking for anything that they can get. We mentioned then that it's the promotion league fixtures that have been released now. And folks, for those of you that want to know, that's starting on this weekend already on the 6th of August in the Promotions League. All Saints in Retreat, Eerste Rivier and Silvertree. Stellenbosch Coronations are up against Manenberg Rangers, and Young Wesleys are up against Vineyards. So 3 of those teams in Super League A, B and C's top 9 are going to be promoted into Super League C. So it's going to be some hair-raising games there. And of course, we did the home ground advantage over the weekend. Super Brew is, of course, where we all have our fun as we make predictions in Super Rugby. Let's take a look at the Cape Rugby TV leaderboard. As usual, some fun stuff happening there. Boston is at number 1. Puni back there at number 2. MC Bam Bam Belleville Boy Kali Viepia climbed 1 space to number 1. Joey Fern Chili Boy, an Executioner, dropped down 4, but he still stays in the top 10. Folks, that's of course your Super Brew top 10. Only 1 round left. Hopefully you guys have a lot of fun. Remember, look out for the the Springbok Sevens playing in the Olympics. That's going to be very exciting. We're looking for Jean de Jong and Chesi and the boys to make sure that they fly the South African flag. It's going to be very exciting. Ish, thanks for joining me on Cape Rugby TV. Nice just having the two of us. We, ironically, didn't even talk as much as we probably could have.
Yeah, good to be back on the show, and good luck to the clubs playing this weekend.
Yeah,
Go Lions.
Go the Lions. Yeah, of course the Lions are in the mix flying the South African flag. That's, of course, if you're a Lions supporter.
Well, we are. We got our South African cap on, so we are supporting the Lions this weekend.
Yeah, well, I'm still wearing my Stormers cap.
Okay, you can wait till next season.
yeah, clearly. But I'll be putting my Curry Cup cap on soon. All right, good luck for your match this weekend. And congratulations on your big victory last weekend. Right, folks, that's a wrap from us at Cape Rugby TV. We'll see you again next week. Same time, same place. And we know that you have to have yourself a fantastic rugby weekend as well. In fact, I think it's about time that we bring out a Cape Rugby TV T-shirt that at the back says, have a fantastic rugby weekend. We'll see you again next week. Same time, same place. Bye-bye.